What up, though? What's good, YouTube world? It's your boy BDB. You're tuned in to the NevaLoss podcast where you get your sports and music, man. Today we're going to talk about the biggest fight of the year. We've been waiting on the Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, man.
I ain't never lost. Never in my life.
Man, Bud just went down as definitely one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's right up there. He might be a touch under Floyd and Ali, man. What Bud just did was historic, man. It was super dope. Everybody doubted him being able to take them punches from Canelo. No, Canelo is super strong. They like, man, how is Bud gonna take them punches, man? When he touch him up, how that's gonna go, how everything gonna be, man? Is he gonna be able to handle when he catch that first punch? We talked about it, man. This was a talk when he fought Earl, man. I can't lie. Earl Spence was my guy, man. Going into the fight, he was my favorite fighter. I thought it was no chance Bud was gonna beat him. I thought he was stronger than Bud. I thought he was faster than Bud. I thought he was just an all-around better boxer than Bud. Clearly, I wasn't watching enough Bud because that boy beat and battered my boy Earl Spence to the point where he wasn't even he did accept his rematch clause initially, but then I think his team huddled up and was like, hey man, you really don't want to do that again, man. You barely made it out of that one. That boy left that shit looking like the Thing from the Goonies. Boy, that shit was all fucked up. Hey, but enough for that. Hey, Earl, you my man, but you still one of my favorite boxers. Bud beat your ass though. But back to this fight, Canelo Crawford. I was a little nervous for Crawford more because of how the media was talking, man. They do a good job of just kind of shaping your brain. Even though I'm like, man, Bud's such a great fighter. Canelo's a solid fighter, but it's a lot of strength based, man. When it comes to technicalities of the boxing, I just feel like Bud was superior to him, man. And I'm like, he's gonna be going for a knockout, and Bud ain't really too much leaving himself open for them type of shots. But they had me like, man, is Canelo just gonna be too big, too powerful, that if he just catch him even a little bit, it's gonna be enough to rock him? And I can't lie, Bud, by the 6th, 7th, 8th round, man, Bud was in there exchanging blow for blow, and I can't lie, Bud was lighting that boy up to the point where if you watch any of them back and forth exchanges, blow for blow, blow for blow, blow for blow, a lot of time them exchanges stop because Canelo took steps back and walked, kind of gathered itself. Because at the end of them exchanges, Crawford was knocking them back, man. My favorite rounds, the 9th, the 11th, and the 12th was the best rounds. I think 11th was the craziest round. They was going blow for blow. But the 9th was the first round. It was just crazy fire. They came right out. That shit was just a nice back and forth, boom, boom, boom. Like, man, blow after blow. But like I say, for every one hard punch Canelo would get off, man, Crawford would hit him with 3, man, body shots, uppercut, hook. Boy, it just be quick, and and they was hard hitting, man. And as much as the announcers kept saying, I'm not sure if these punches are hurting Canelo, but Crawford is hitting them at a higher rate. Like, man, them shits was hurting them, bro. You can see it from even the hesitation to get in with him, get in the mix and get in another exchange with him. Like, it was really the coach. Like, man, you down on the scorecard. You have to attack. You're gonna have to attack. And that was making them go getting them exchanges. But man, I can't lie, every time they would Crawford was getting the best out of him. Crawford get the best of him, Canelo would jump out of the exchange, which if you asked any boxing, any professional analyst of boxing, man, they'd have been like, Crawford got to get in and get out, get in and get out. Nah, he was standing 10 toes down. Boom, boom, boom. And at the end of the day, Canelo was the one back in the body of it. Like I say, even The little accidental head bunt, Canelo was quick. So, and again, it could have just been a straight respect thing. We're just like, man, I wasn't trying to head bunt you or whatever, which Crawford knew. But even every time the round would start, Canelo would come to try to, just hit gloves with him. And Crawford was like, nah, man, we cool. We boxing. I don't want to hit glove. And it just was fireworks, man. But again, if you want to check it out, don't want to watch the whole fight, the 9th, the 11th, and 12th round was the best rounds. But I strongly encourage you watching the whole fight. It was a good fight. The first couple rounds was a little bit slow. But you can see Crawford kind of led the whole way, man. Canelo might have won maybe 2 rounds, maybe 3. Some of the ones where it was more even, those are the ones where they would give it to Canelo only because he was down so many rounds. The stats, let's go get into some of the stats on it. It said Crawford landed 165. It said landed more punches, 165 to Canelo's 132 over the 12 rounds. Crawford's accuracy, he was 37.5%, 165 out of 442 punches, while Canelo landed 49% of his power shots. Had the overall power low. He had lower overall power accuracy. The win improved Crawford to 42-0 and marks Canelo's 3rd loss, bringing him to 63-3-2. Solid. He really should have 4 losses. That fight versus Triple G, he absolutely lost. But he dominated him in the rematch. Again, Crawford landed 165. Canelo landed 132. Canelo only threw 347. Crawford threw 442. This was to be expected because Canelo don't jab at all, which is interesting, man. He's a straight hard hitter. I think he could have benefited from throwing some jabs, but he going straight for the kill. I think he underestimated Crawford's power, along with Crawford's ability to handle his power. And I think by underestimating those things, you get the results that you get, man. Because once Crawford got to really tapping that chin and tapping that body, it's just, you can see Canelo ain't really have another plan outside. Once I show him my power, he's gonna be scared to the point where he ain't gonna really want to mix it up to me, and I can easily kind of knock him out. And it just didn't work. Crawford just don't get anybody who gets shot in the head and drive themselves to the hospital. It's a little bit different upstairs, man. Ain't no punch gonna back him down. He get right back in there and mix it up, man. Great fight. I met my expectations. I would have loved to see a knockout, but I will say the closest thing to a knockout was in that last round. Crawford was. It was a few times you see Canelo kind of buckling up on them hits. A couple of them exchanges, Canelo was buckling. I really thought Crawford was gonna drop him. Actually, 11th round too was a couple where I'm like, oh yeah, Crawford really can knock him out if he really go for it. But I think he was playing a little bit more safe, and he didn't. He ain't end up knocking him out. But I love the exchanges. Again, great fight, man. That's my take on it. Thank you for tuning in to NevaLoss Podcast. I appreciate the support, everybody. Thumbs up, comment if you got any comments or you think any round was better. Again, my favorite round was round 11. Let me know what your favorite round was, man.